Hi, welcome to MyCounselor Online. Today I'm sitting down with one of our counselors here at MyCounselor Online. This is licensed therapist Alyssa Bostwick. Alyssa, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So I just want to ask you a few questions as we kind of spotlight you and get to know you here. So first of all, what is your story? How did you get to where you are as a counselor, and what inspired you to take this career path?
Such a big question. So, I am a Colorado native and I grew up here. And I think that part of my journey is as we all experience our childhood and or adverse experiences as we're young. I think all of us have something that was a hiccup in their lives. I had a lot of people who spoke into me from my church and in my schools and had just a great support system. Especially when my parents weren't able to do it for me. And so I think that I really wanted to be able to give that and give it back to people as I experienced safety and community in the middle of my own suffering. And so I wanted to be a counselor. I actually am a licensed clinical social worker. So my journey began with trying to figure out, what does it mean to be a social worker? And as I engaged in that, I really fell in love with therapy. I fell in love with people's stories and really helping them work through it so they can own it, but also be their true and authentic selves. So a little bit about myself, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that that is beautiful that you're able to weave social work with counseling, because I don't think people realize how great those two things go together and how it gives you such insight into people and their minds and their hearts. So I love that. So tell me how you got involved with MyCounselor Online.
Yeah, so I have been working as a licensed clinical social worker in a residential facility here in Denver for the last 4 years. And so part of that journey has been learning how to be a therapist, learning how to do family therapy and marriage counseling, and working with teenagers, which is always really reflective. But through that process, I haven't been able to bring my faith into the work. I haven't been able to bring in that spiritual component, as I think God is our healer. I think Jesus is in the suffering with us. And so part of me has had to kind of turn that part of myself off, or kind of edit my words or say it a little differently so nobody knows I'm quoting the Bible or talking about Jesus, or I can't stop and pray like I want to do sometimes. And so with this journey, my husband and I are talking about, like, what's the next 4 years of my life look like? What kind of therapist do I want to be? And I found MCO in that process, as they allow us to be our whole selves, our authentic selves, like I was talking about earlier, and bring in our own spirituality and our relationship with God. And that was just so beautiful and what I've been craving and missing. And so I'm so excited to be a part of that team that allows me to do that.
Yeah, I love that. So what clients do you kind of most often thrive and connect with here at MyCounselor Online?
Yes, so I thrive with working with people who struggle with anxiety and depression, especially when it's rooted out of trauma. I've worked really hard becoming a really skilled trauma therapist, and so I'm really excited to bring that to MCO. I also do really well with families, and I'm working on connecting with marriages. I've got lots of experience as a marriage therapist or as a family therapist, so that naturally bring marriage into it, right? But I'm excited to really thrive in that. But I think individual and family is my core right now. I'm excited to be able to serve people in that way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what can people expect when they sit down and meet with you here? What does a session with Alyssa look like?
Yes. Well, first off, I'm really expressive. So I'm always smiling or carrying emotion in my face. So you'll always know what I'm thinking when something's on my heart. You'll be able to read it. So I think that with me, there's a lot of transparency. You'll understand that there's no judgment, that I come with compassion and understanding. And it won't always be in my words, but you'll see it in my face. And I love people. And I think that life is hard enough. You just need somebody to carry burdens with you. And so I try and do my best to be able to do that with people.